Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Crypto Hamster channel. So today I will not show you any news, but we will look at the altcoins, which in my opinion will be the biggest gainers among the other altcoins if and when the new bull cycle will come. Let's go!
Let's go.
First and foremost, of course, Bitcoin. Well, nothing really happened from yesterday. We're still trading around the level of 6,600, maybe close to 6,700, drawing some triangles, which may or may not be the patterns which will evolve in some breakouts. I don't think that they are actually, but still, we're sort of convolving to a certain level, so this 6,700 and something. Probably, if we will break this level to the upside, I think that this rally will be huge again, taking into account the fact that we are trading in this huge area for already like almost 4 weeks. And again, the number of shorts, which which we used to look at, this is longs. So the number of shorts is basically the same as before, didn't change much, still very huge. So again, my stand here is the same. But let's look at the altcoins, which we covered a little bit before already. So I looked at the NANO first, and we've seen quite nice rally of NANO during recent, maybe already a week. Let's actually look at the daily chart. So here's NANO, and this was the bottom, and I showed some levels of resistance. So it passed already all three, and actually it didn't go the higher the third one. So now it has a correction, and the correction is pretty strong, but actually this was the rise with like this parabolic kind of rise, and probably it needs to have a correction unless we'll go to some crazy numbers like this, which I just highlighted here when we had this increase of the price of NANO. So if we'll just translate it here, then probably we'll need to reach some level of like this. But we didn't go there apparently. Of course, the market is not that strong now. And I would say that well, again, looking the volume here, so there was basically the same volume as now, but we didn't go there. Probably a lot of people, I would say, they tried to cover their losses, which they had here and here and here, maybe even have some profits, which apparently was here. So it's natural that we have this correction, and I would be actually happy that we'll like trade for a while here, and then we can have a basis for the further growth. And in my opinion, again, based on fundamentals, based on the comparison with other altcoins, probably NANO I would put like a favorite among the others. So I think it has the biggest potential, at least in the relatively short to mid-term progression. So let's see how it will look like eventually, but again, I'm expecting if we will again have this rise of Bitcoin eventually, then probably NANO will be one of the first coins which will pick the rise speed. So second one which we looked at was Icon. Also, Icon was traded sideways like this, and I was saying that guys probably will stay for a while here, and we like broke this triangle, so probably we will not have any other option than just go up eventually. And it actually came rather early, so we broke like this line of resistance, and then again it was quite a big increase, but then we dropped, and probably, well, sorry, it wasn't, it was the volume. So still we were correcting around this area, probably will go a little lower again. And this was similar to Nano, but although while in Nano we had like few levels of resistance on the way up, here we have like descending, constantly descending trend without really much of the stops, and probably again with a positive scenario will happen. Icon, the next level to stop for icon will be around this. So this would be my second pick for the highest gainers among altcoins for the next bull cycle. Finally, Walton, it was the third one which I covered before, and you remember I draw some line like this and the triangle, so actually it goes roughly the same way I would want it to go, and it touched its triangle, so now it didn't break it. Well, break it just a little, but this is like a minor thing. So probably we will again trade sideways, or maybe we will bounce back because it's sort of a strong line which everybody look at. So maybe we will break it, and then again Walton may have a huge potential to rise. So basically all three altcoins which I was covering before follow the same trend as I wanted, as I expected, and that's pretty nice because the gains are great. So, but I would like to look at some others. So actually one of those which I didn't cover before but I wanted is Substratum. So Substratum is interesting because as few or many actually of the altcoins, it touched the historical low level, and this is probably, I don't know, 35 times lower than the all-time high. So if those people who bought here, around here, they're extremely they lost extremely a lot. But for those which are thinking to buy here, to enter here, this is a great opportunity in my opinion. So I doubt that Substratum can drop lower this level, and again it had this sort of triangle which may or may not be valid, but we sort of touched this triangle and the same time as we touched the support line, and then we traded for a while sideways, and then probably the capital which covered some gains from, let's say, Icon or Nano, it lived here. So we had this rally for like nearly 100%, and now we're correcting again. So I think it's a nice time to rest for all the altcoins which are doing this surge recently. But for Substratum, again, since it's not that high capitalization coin, I think it's much easier for it to go much higher, and also take into account the project itself, which is very interesting and very strong in my opinion. I think that it has, even like in terms of the gains, the multipliers, I think Substratum is the best choice. Next one is I personally like is NEO. So NEO is actually touching, did I have the NEO to BTC? Maybe I don't. Let's actually look at NEO to Bitcoin. So for NEO to Bitcoin, we nearly at the level of previous low. So it was around here, and we didn't really go below that, like or touch that. So we still have some room to fall if this sort of a bear trend will continue, especially that NEO had some increase, sort of picked up that rise from the other altcoins, but it didn't sustain and it dropped nearly to the same level. So it quite possible that NEO will actually touch this historical low level, but from that level probably it will go up. And from the NEO with respect to dollar, it's actually a bit different. So with dollar, it did touch this support level, and it's a high chance that most of the traders will look at exactly this couple, so NEO to dollar, and probably if we'll continue to trade like this in this sort of side trading, then we may act the same as substratum. So it will continue to trading sideways, and then we will go up. And if we'll pick up the speed from the Bitcoin increase of the price, then we'll go higher, higher, and higher. And actually, I don't think that we will have such a nice discount for NEO. Just don't forget that NEO is one of the biggest blockchains for smart contracts to run new ICOs, new tokens, and more projects are run on NEO. NEO is a Chinese like Mastodon or whatever you call it, but basically it's in my opinion one of the first pickers for the gains among the other huge like high capitalization coins, because in principle, like in theory, the first runners will be those which are established. So initially maybe Bitcoin will have increase in price, then as soon as it will reach some certain level or on the way to this like high level, the risky money, risky investors will go to lower capitalization altcoins, the altcoins which will have lower capitalization than Bitcoin, of course, in the hope that eventually this will bring better profits, although it has a bigger risk. So, but NEO is among them, and since it dropped quite a lot, basically to the lowest low, historically lowest low, but it can return at least to a previous all-time high, or maybe like $150 level. So it's like 10x, and it's not so bad, isn't it? So the same situation, similar situation, I would say, is with Cardano. Cardano, basically, again, if we look to the dollar with respect to dollar, it also touched this historical low. Of course, well, there was like ICO price and so on, but from the trading perspective of the most of the traders, they will look at exactly this point, in my opinion. And again, we have like sideways trading for a while. It doesn't really change much, like few 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% max. But eventually, again, ADA is really one of the strongest platforms for the future. It's a very long time project. However, the fundamentals are extremely strong. The team is just genius. So all the traders, all investors know that ADA has future, and probably some of them will hedge their investments. Well, I wouldn't say really hedge, but just put some of them for a very long time investment, and this will be probably ADA. And again, just even for the short term, it may have like a really nice run. So even if it will go like this to the previous high, well, previous to previous high, it will like 4x. But in my opinion, it may go really much higher. And on the other hand, we shall look at the ADA to BTC, and this is a place we shall be careful about, because if people trade with respect to Bitcoin, ADA actually also touched this level, which was sort of a resistance before, but maybe you may say that it is a support now. But we can go even lower, like 3 times lower, and this is a bit worrisome. So be careful with ADA, but at the same time, in the long term, I still believe that this is a really nice peak. Another one, which I think also has this very similar situation in terms of the trading picture and charts and TA, I think it's QTUM. If you don't know about QTUM, I would suggest you to go to their website and check it more carefully. Well, check it and carefully check it, because it has very nice idea, and in principle it was very hyped initially. So this, of course, with some new platforms appeared, QTUM doesn't have that much of the attention, but still it is strong project, and I don't think it will like die and go to the near to zero level. But now currently again with the situation of this significant decrease with almost no stops on the way, so not well, basically one maybe resistance level on the way up if we'll start to rally from here. So it finally touched this bottom historical low, so we have a high chance that we'll bounce off from that and go only up. Again, all of that I say is much more possible when we see the Bitcoin increase in price. If we will not, if Bitcoin will go below 6, maybe we'll see even lower drop of all of those altcoins. And of course, it's actually nice that we can use the very tight stop loss order for all of them, because you basically can use like 5, maybe 7% from the price here, because I wouldn't think that like lower drop of that, fake drop of that may happen. And also just want to mention that with respect to a dollar, QTUM also basically touched the same level, actually even a little lower than that. So we may have a very nice opportunity to bounce from this level. And the next one is NEM. So again, it's sort of a project which is very established, which was very successful before, but with appearance of other project, it became like less hyped, and it had like very huge increase here. And if we look later with Bitcoin, it had actually 2 such increases. So now it traded with a very nice discount prices, and with the dollar we need to be careful, because if again I will say about the stop, I said already about the stop order, and if you will place it around here, then since we have another strong support at like 50% lower than that, then we still may very well go to this support level, and then your stop order will be triggered. So you may, but it's not that a big loss, so we can pick up it eventually. But still, now I think it's very nice time to trade NEM. And again, I was going to show you NEM to BTC. I don't think that I have it here, so let's go to NEM BTC. And for the NEM BTC, we actually had 2 run-ups before, because this was the time when Bitcoin was higher, so that Bitcoin was lower, so this was the time when we had QTUM increased. So, and still the same thing, like we may have even decreased to the lower low, but I would say this is still very nice trade, very nice level to start to picking up NEM. And I guess that is it what I was going to mention. So I think that this is a very high chance that all of those altcoins which I covered will give nice profits within a very short future. But please be careful, do your own research and make your analysis. Everything which I say is not a financial advice. So, and also we need to be carefully look at Bitcoin, how it will behave, and whether it will break this 6,800 level, and if it will go to the next rally, at least to the local maximum, to at least touch the next high level. But again, usually when we have those cycles of Bitcoin, which will go like up, down, up, down, up, down, now we're at the bottom point. Of course, we have a chance to go even lower, and that will be very surprising for all the not all of the, but a lot of the people in the market. However, this will be against the number of shorts, and I don't think that huge players will let all the bears except them to win in this situation. So in my opinion, we have all the chances to go high, and if this will happen, then all the altcoins which I mentioned will probably the first gainers among the others. And if you look at actually the coin market cap, then you would agree with me that the recent days not so many altcoins perform well. I would say that actually those which I mentioned, well, this is the 7 days plot, so you can see here icon. Oh, I didn't mention one chain. I shall. One chain. So this is not the curve which we looked at. Loopring is not that bad, but again, so Walton constantly increasing. Zilica is also one of them, but I don't really want to talk about Zilica. Then what? And Substratum also, here you see the like nice side trading and then increase of the price. So this sort of the coins which I looked at, and on the other hand, a lot of the other coins don't really show any signs of the increase. Maybe they will replace the current leaders, but I have a strong feeling that those will play out the first. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being with me, and I hope that you liked. I hope that you found something interesting. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and leave like and comment. If you didn't subscribe yet, so I hope to see you in the next videos, probably already from tomorrow. Wish you have a nice day and safe trading. Goodbye, guys.